What if I told you that one of the most important moments in the American Revolution happened in that field just below me? It was an exhaustive push, almost a charge. And it wasn't just a hero standing alone, but it was a line moving together. Here at Saratoga National Historical Park, you can still walk these grounds. You can still feel the outcome that shifted step by step. Hi, I'm Sean Kelleher, and I write Past Paths on Substack, and I'm the historian for the town of Saratoga. And here, history is not that distant. And sometimes you can stand on it, move through it, and experience it yourself. On April 2nd, 1777, 249 years ago, the Continental Congress promoted Ebenezer Leonard to Brigadier General. Not a household name, not a figure that most visitors come here to look for, but a steady leader at a critical moment. Because in 1777, a plan under the British General John Burgoyne aimed to divide the colonies along the Hudson River Valley. If the plan succeeded, the revolution may have ended very differently, but Leonard would help prevent that. The battles of Saratoga wasn't on a single day and unfolded over weeks, from September into October. At Freeman's Farm, fighting went back and forth across open hills and fields, and Leonard was there. At Bemis Heights, the American line held and then advanced, and Leonard was part of that. On the late afternoon of October 7th, after hours of combat, something shifted. Under pressure, smoke hanging in the air, commands barely heard, the American line moved, not perfectly, not cleanly, but together with Benedict Arnold, and Leonard was there. They moved towards the Bremen's Redoubt, towards the British line, and towards victory that would draw France and Spain into the war and transform our rebellion into a global war. And here's what most books can't capture: the distance. On paper, it's manageable, a short movement across the field. But when you walk it, you start to understand. The ground rises, your footing shifts, your body tires, advance, engage, carry the position. It's not just a phrase, it's a physical experience. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to take some young soldiers with the New York National Guard through that experience, to actually charge through the Canadian cabins towards the back of Bremen's Redoubt. It's a memory I won't forget. And the landscape did the teaching as we were moving. Now, for those who are drawn to heritage tourism, this is where Saratoga is something more than a stop on a map. And there's different ways to experience it. You can see from my Substacks, normally I like to go out in the morning, right after sunrise, so that you can see the various parts of the terrain. That actual battle happened just at sunset, just before sunset. So again, a late visit really provides the experience of what it was like. And you want to pause near the Bremen's Redoubt, look at the terrain, look at the elevation, but you also want to see the Boot Monument. That's something that's really special. Now, there's lots of different ways you can go on the tour road to experience it. There's also guided tours. My friend Pat Niles does that. He does a fantastic job. So just make sure to come on and visit. Now, Ebenezer Leonard really is a name that sits in the metal, in public memory. But the story reveals something essential. It was common men, and men with a little bit of leadership, that kind of led the day. And it didn't depend upon one person. It depended upon coordination, discipline. Sure, there are heroes. A hero here would be Benedict Arnold. He certainly became dastardly later in his life, but here he was a hero and he did change the day. But it was men like Leonard, the next level down, that really did an awful lot. He was the leader who held their ground and then charged when it mattered the most. So if you ever wonder what it was like to stand at the turning point to history. Saratoga offers that. Visit the region, visit the fields, experience the story for yourself. If this type of place history interests you, please consider subscribing to my Substack at PastPass, PATHPASTS. I hope you have a great day. Until I see you again, I am your most humble and obedient servant, Sean Kelleher.